If you are a business owner or personal brand that creates long form content, then you are fully aware of the different AI repurposing software out there to use. Since I started this podcast back in October of 2023 to grow my business in some form or fashion, I have tried and subscribed to the top AI editing repurposing tools out there. They're with blah blah. I can't talk, but I'm gonna keep it in there because this is a raw and authentic conversation. Anyway, let me try that again. Just one more time. I promise I know what I'm doing. I have tried and subscribed to the top AI video editing slash repurposing tools out there with monthly subscriptions ranging from $19 a month to $49 a month. These AI tools are great. Yeah, they're great. They're the bee's knees for the business owner or brand that wants a mass batch of short form content repurposed from their long form content that they can just post once or three times a week on the good old gram. Maybe TikTok too, if it's still around. And that is ideal. That is ideal. That's very ideal. If you want your quantity over quality. Right. So, and I say that because you literally get 9 by 16 videos with captions. And I just want you to sit there with that. Just sit there and think and marinate, wallow, swim in that idea, that thought of you get 9 by 16 videos with captions. I want to say, but wait, there's more. There's not more. That's it. It's 9 by 16 videos with captions. And so that's great. You get that for the low monthly price of $49.95, 9 by 16 videos with captions. But if you're anything like me and you want to be intentional with your content, you want to be a little different, you want to be a little bit creative, you want to add a little pizzazz, a little je ne sais quoi to your videos, you can't do that. You can't do that because it's not about quality. It's more about quantity. And this is absolutely where these tools suck. Absolutely. Garbage fire, dumpster, trash. I think I just mixed those words together, and that's not the phrase that I wanted to use, but we're going to go with it as I wipe this desk off of all this shedding hair that I'm having right now. But yeah, this is where they absolutely suck. This is where they fall short completely for $49.95. $49.95. I'm paying $49.95. That's a Disney Plus Hulu bundle right there without commercials. Okay. So this is, like I said, this is where the tools suck, and we're going to talk about in today's pod and how we can repurpose our short form content with intentionality or intention. Either way, it's going to have purpose, and people are going to care. Okay. So welcome to the Creators Initiative podcast, where we have a raw and authentic conversation about creating intentional media our way to grow our personal brands or business. I'm your host, DP editor, and unintentional content creator, part-time, Leah Lowe. And in today's pod, we're going to dive deep into why I actually hate AI now in this way. I love AI in some areas, but in this AI, in this specific, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And there's so many things I could be spending my money on, $49.95 than this AI. So let's just talk about it. Let's just chat. Let's have a good day while we're on our commute. Or if you like me, you work from home while you're popping a Pop-Tart. Okay. So in 2022, there was fear, absolute fear of AI, okay? And in 2023, there was this mass push of courses from influencers teaching you for $49.95. I don't know what it is about $49.95. I don't know what it is about that number, but people love it. People love $49.95. I guess it's just like a cross between like, yeah, I got it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Yeah, you telling me you want to teach me something for $99.95? It's like, yeah, you pushing it. You're tweaking, dude. But $49.95? I could skip takeout. I could skip Papachi today to pay for this course to tell me how to use these different AI softwares out there. Especially me as a small business owner who wants to save time and money to grow my business, right? Because I got to create this content to get in front of you people and so you guys can know, like, and trust me. So yeah, it sounds like a winner chicken dinner. I'm going to write that bad boy off during tax times if my tax guy actually gets that my business is run by a lot of software, a lot of subscriptions online. That's another story for another day. Probably not, because I hate taxes. I don't like to talk about them. It gives me anxiety. anyway, I'll let my tax man handle that. So now in 2024, it's the realization that AI is great. It's a great aid in content creation, but not a complete replacement. So that's what I was saying. I hope you didn't hear that big swallow that I had, because I'm talking way too fast with absolutely no water, and it's so hot in the studio right now after I turn on the AC and it's not working, and now I'm just like really hyperactive, running off 3 hours of sleep. Somebody give me a Red Bull, okay? So, like I said, 2024, for me personally, I have realized that AI is really great. It's a really great aid in content creation, but it is not a complete replacement. So let me go on a little rant. Let me go off subject, off my notes, off my outline here to talk about it for a second, because I tried to write it down, but it was just too complicated. And I thought maybe that I've been practicing with these different episodes. We're like freaking 13 episodes in deep right now. So I feel like I feel like I can go off cuff and not go down a rabbit hole and make absolutely no sense. So I'm going to try it. If I do terrible, I won't do it again. I will not do it again. So AI being a great aid, but not a replacement. So one thing I love about AI, especially like in Lightroom, is not having to do these little tedious, neat, picky things that I have to do to like edit out, a background or something like that. That makes absolutely no sense, actually, when I think about it. This is why I don't go off the cuff. Okay, give me a second, because I can edit this in post and keep out the long, drawn-out pauses of me trying to figure out what the heck I'm trying to say, because what I do is not easy to put in words. I just know how to do it. You feel me? Okay. So there's this like cool thing in Lightroom specifically that I've experienced, where back in the day, be honest with you, anybody who's listening to this who is actually like fully immersed in Lightroom, forgive my faux pas if I'm wrong about this, but I feel like I'm not. But I feel like, because I know this was a thing in Photoshop. How about this? Flag that. Just flag that. Flag it. Let's just talk about Photoshop, because I hate Photoshop and I stay away from Photoshop. But when I was in there for 2.5 seconds, it was tragic. Okay, so in Photoshop, you would take a photo and you would have to. See, I'm having PTSD just thinking about it. This project that I did back in the beginning, like back in 2018, you had to go around the subject to like, you see the dots? Can you see the dots? Of trying to mask out this person so that you could like remove the background. And now with AI, it identifies the subject, is able to make those little lines that would literally, you really needed to go get an iPad. You really needed to invest in an iPad so that you could zoom in with your pencil, make it a little bit faster, get one of these little trackpads to like just etch out the figure. Like there was a man, I'm thinking of the project. He's literally standing in front of his car, and he wanted the wheels. I had to like edit out the wheels, the rims, just so like he could like have it inset in his website. Like this was dark times. This was dark times before AI. And now it's able to just go in there and identify him, the rims, everything, and just punch that background out. Because you feel like, oh man, 2018, I thought that was just like a thing. You just push a button, baby. It's not that simple. Now it is in Canva, but it was not that simple. You had to do some things. You had to do some work. And it's the same thing like in Adobe Premiere, masking and keyframes and things like that. These just little nitpicky things that you actually still have to do. You still have to do them, but like being able to, have software in there, which this might not have to even do with AI, but I'm just thinking about, for example, having to use closed caption, having to add closed captions to your videos. Like your big videos, not like these Hormozy style, like flashy captions that you see that we're going to talk about here in a second that these repurposing tools offer. But no. I am talking about like old school closed captions that you see on videos, like on TV and things like that. Like I have to add those. And either I would type them in like a crazy person by hand, or I would go and outsource this to some company, some software that would bring my video back, send it back to me, the file with the embedded closed captions into the video. And it costs a little bit. It costs a little bit of money. It wasn't cheap. It was not cheap at all. And now it just comes with the Adobe Premiere software. So it's things like that. I don't really know if that's AI, but either way, it's things like that. It's these little nitpicky things, like, or for instance, podcast episodes. There's one thing, this has nothing to do with repurposing. This just has to do with cuts being made. when I had Dre in the beginning on this podcast, I would use Autopod, and it would go in there and it would cut between the two different camera angles. So Autopod was a game changer as far as having multiple camera angles, having, multiple people talking, syncing up mics and things like that. That was tedious. And even in, interviews too, if you were doing a documentary style interview with, main camera here and one off to the side and maybe a third, cutting between those tedious things that some editor has to go through and cut between each camera angle. AI was able to go in there and just do it for you while you could focus on other things. Because, yeah, that's important, cutting between those different camera angles, but at the same time, it's tedious, it's boring. If I just gave you the basics of how to edit, anybody could do it, and that's where AI comes in. That base, low level, nobody really wants to do it, but we have to do it, we have to get it done. AI came and got it done for you. That's why I say it's a great aid, but not a replacement. Because as you can see, I still have to be creative. I still have to come up with a script. I still have to have a storyline, pre-production, figure out how I'm going to do different camera angles and different movements. But hey, those stupid little things like switching between camera angles, that's really boring. And I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes, hours to 3 hours, cutting through those. AI took care of that. And I could focus on other creative things. I could focus on sound design. I could focus on the the music that would drive, would just, I never can find my words when I need them. I don't know. I wish I could find it. You put me on the spot. I can't find the word that I want to say. Add emphasis, drive my point home, assist. I could write it though. I could totally write it and it would make sense and be poetic. But saying how I feel on the spot, like I always say, this is why people I used to talk to and date would get, these long paragraphs from me, because I can write all day long. But you think I can pour my heart out to you in person? Mike, no. I wish I could, but no. I'm a writer, not a fighter. Okay, that wasn't funny. Anyway, okay, so Munch, and these are the AI tools that I used back in the day, aka like 2 months ago. Munch, Opus Clip, and video like VIDYO.ai will give you over 15 short form videos for social media, but none of them will be engaging. And I feel like this is gonna be a future YouTube talk. This is gonna be a future podcast episode, just because the whole Alex Hormozy post that I guess went viral, sort of him, dang it, me hitting the mic. Him going and telling people that he's going to do these more like uncut, less production, low production quality, just raw, uncut, less flashy, I guess, posts, because he's more focused on the substance than, the editing. And I'm to myself thinking like, it's a little common sense for me. I thought that's what we should have been doing anyway. I thought that's what we all should be doing. That's my motto. Granted, I'm practicing, trying to get better and make sure that I, because my problem is, I said this in a previous podcast episode, my problem is not the information that I want to deliver. It's just I can't talk. I'm trying to actually get my point across, as you just saw previously, like good 3 minutes ago, just losing words, like not being able to string them together to tell you what it is that I do in a cohesive manner. That's why I'm here every day and practicing, because I'm getting better, but I really sucked in the beginning. So yeah, I feel like we should have all been providing substance and purpose rather than focusing on the editing and the flashy cuts and things like that. But you grow, you get better, you understand, you admit where you were wrong, and this is what we're gonna do to get better. This is what we're gonna do to get it right, to make it right. Okay, so I digress. But as I was saying, a video, my Munch Opus Clip Video AI. They'll give you these 15 short form videos for social media, but none will be engaging. Okay, 16 by 9 video that you would have, your long form video, cropped down to 9 by 16 with captions, is what you get for $49 a month. Now I kind of ranted a little bit, but I'm gonna rant again. You pay $49 for a cropped video with captions. I mean, you have the option to go in there and, change the font. Change if you want like a gradient background to your words, or just let it like free flow and just, be colorful, or like have a little like purple glowy outlines to your font. That's what you get. That's what you get for $49.95. You get that. You get 9:16 videos with captions. Okay? You don't have an option for B-roll, or transitions, or a call to action at the end. Okay? And if you do that, you're gonna have to go into a different software, and then you're gonna cover up the bread and butter of these repurposing content houses. Content houses, they're not content houses, they're just software. But you're gonna have to cover up the captions that you paid $49.95 for with the B-roll that you have, so no one's gonna be able to see what you were saying, defeating the whole purpose of the captions for $49 a month. I'm just saying. For $49 a month, I feel like I should be able to at least add something in there, or give me an option, but that probably will now be $69.95. So this is why I say AI video editors are a great aid and not a complete replacement. I mean, I did rant beforehand, but I'm going to add this in there again because this was actually in the notes before I went on a tangent. So we'll see when I edit this video if it made sense and it was good and we should do it again, or we should never go off course and we should stay focused. Okay, so this is why I say video AI editors, repurposing tools are great aids, not a complete not a complete replacement if you want to create content that isn't cookie cutter, but intentional, and most importantly, engaging. Because like I said, in the future podcast episode that we will have about this whole Hormozi situation, I as a creative, as a filmmaker, as deep all the things, I'm really, really big on the creativity, this, how it looks also is important with providing purpose, providing substance. There we go. I'm going to say that one more time so I can cut all that awkwardness out. Probably not, because this actually sounds really good to me. Okay? The creativity, how it looks, the aesthetics, all the things coincide. They work together in unison with the substance of your post. But that's just me. Me personally, when I say editing, I'm talking about how it looks. Like, yes, it's the quality, how it looks. Not so much the editing, the flashy things, the B-roll and stuff like that. Unless it's driving my point home, which is like any basic editors, like, that's what we do. That's why we edit the way we do, because I'm trying to drive this purpose home with the visual so it sticks. But like I said, I digress. It will be a future podcast episode for sure, because I will be here all day, and I refuse to edit an hour and 15-minute podcast, because this is actually what we're going to talk about in this podcast episode today. So after 6 long months, and probably, can anybody calculate what $49.95 cost me on my fixed cost for 6 months? Okay. After 6 months, I decided to save my little $49 a month and put it towards something else in my business. And I would just make, time to repurpose my long-form content without AI. So if you know how to edit, I hope you do. If not, I hope you learn. It's really great. It's really nice. Like, just something basic, something light. Nothing serious, nothing too deep. Just get your feet wet. Then again, as I say that, there's some things that you want to focus on, because it's not like I'm going to really study, taxes. I don't care. I'll let somebody else handle that. I'll find the money and pay somebody else. If you don't want to do it, you got a lot of other stuff going on. That's fine. But I'm just saying, maybe you want to learn. Maybe you want to learn. But if you know a little bit about editing, or you know how to edit, here are some solutions to save you time and get more out of repurposing your content. That 15 videos with flashy subtitles for $49.99. I'm sorry, something about that. I mean, I don't even care if it was $125. It's just like, dang, I'm really just getting that for $49.95 a month. God forbid if you do give me B-roll, what is that going to be, $125 a month? Okay, I'm stopped. Anyway, first things first, you want to film shorter podcast episodes, Okay, this can be applied to just a general YouTube video. Honestly, I'm gonna give you some bonus tips here, just some bonus ideas. I really don't know why you would be repurposing a long form YouTube video that's not a podcast. But I will say, I think what you should do, because this is my strategy, is have a long form idea and just create a short form version of it. Try to sum that video up in 60 seconds and then throw in a call to action to, watch the long form video of this that's more in detail, that's more in depth, it's going to help you more than just ingesting this 60-second video. I feel like the 60-second video could be like a promo to, the trailer to the video. Come on, this is what trailers are for, okay? We've been bombarded by two phenomenal trailers for the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. So I'm more than ready to see that bad boy in July or June, whenever it is. I'm going to wear a whole suit. It's that deep for me. And then don't get me started on House of the Dragon season 2, okay? Season 2 is on the way. It's around the corner. We got a versus black versus green trailer. We got 2 ones on, pick which one you want to watch. So think about it that way. Don't actually repurpose long form video, YouTube video, unless, you're just sitting there talking. I don't know, but I don't think you should do that. Just take the idea from the long form video, condense it into 60 seconds, and push people to watch the long form video. Work smarter, not harder. That's what I did all throughout college, okay? C's get degrees, all right? Now, apart from just the general YouTube video idea, let's just talk about podcasts. Make it shorter. Make it a 30-minute video. 30 minutes or less. So because the less time you spend watching and the video back and making 60-second max cuts for snippets, I'm telling you, it changed my life. It really did. I mean, AI took care of those videos that were an hour and 15 minutes, those podcast episodes. But when I literally went from 30 minutes and bro, it was a breeze. It was really fun. I enjoyed myself immensely going through these podcast episodes, making my own little snippets. I'm like, oh, girl, you're dropping bars. You're dropping nuggets. Cut that. AI really could never, for $49.95 a month, delivering absolute trash. Maybe I was trash in the beginning and I just got better. And when I started doing it myself, I realized, this is some nuggets. What is AI doing? But no. Okay, it probably was both of us. And actually, when I think about it, it was both of us. AI was doing its best. I was doing my best and not really talking about anything. But it doesn't matter. I don't want a 16:9 video with subtitles for $49.95 a month. It's ridiculous. Never mind, just forget it. Sorry. Focus. All right, so the next thing you want to do is have one camera angle instead of 2 or 3. Once again, change my life for the better. And that's what's important these days, okay? What are we going to do to make our life easier, our life better, our life less stressful? And that's less camera angles, okay? I know that's a thing. That's the status quo. That's the bar. When you got the podcast, you got to have 5 different camera angles. But listen, baby, I am editing this. I don't have a team. And even if I did, I probably would have a second camera angle. But since it's me, myself, and I. Somebody sing the Beyonce song right now. Me, myself, and I is all I got in the end. That's what I found out. And there ain't no need to cry. Anyway, one camera angle. Save money, live better. Walmart, okay? Now, I'm gonna say this. If this was a documentary, if this was like like I said, and you had multiple people here, yes, we would have multiple camera angles. But seriously, one angle has done wonders, especially when I have to go through and make these little video cuts. Because honestly, the second angle, if I just came across a good point that I made and trying to cut that angle, it was weird sometimes. Because it was like this long 60-second top angle for no reason, and I would never cut back to, the main camera versus just having this main camera the whole time and never having to worry about if I dropped a bar, okay? If I dropped an absolute nugget, okay? if I dropped an absolute nugget and it was on camera C and it's like, God, it's a terrible angle. It just ruined the video. Just ruined the video. Took everybody out of what I was saying. Dumpster fire, just trash. Absolute trash. Hate it. Hate it. But anyway, one camera angle. Like I said, save money, live better. Walmart. Okay? And another one. These are no orders. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just another one and another one and another one. Another one, go solo. Go solo. Okay? I didn't really talk about this in a previous podcast episode because I feel like, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that. And I'm not doing that right now. Okay? I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be transparent and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and why I went solo with this podcast. I went solo to save money, live better, Walmart. Okay? Okay? It was a good idea in the beginning. I thought it was a great idea, especially it would, help me, actually show up every week and do what it is that I needed to do and post and things like that because I'm one of those people who gets gung-ho about things. I want to start it. Let's go all in 110%. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. There's so many things I could be doing right now, and it's not it. So I'm going to sell all the equipment, and I'm just going to not do that. Sorry, I got everybody's hopes up. Everybody got excited. But yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah, I'm that person. So I thought if I brought somebody on, keep me accountable, I would end up doing this. Turns out it's a lot more work having somebody, to podcast with. Especially the camera angles, trying to, work around their schedule and things like that, cutting between the different takes. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, once I went solo, I was like, dang, this is less stressful. Because let me just tell you, let me just vent for like 2.5 seconds, okay? I was supposed to come in here Friday, after a fresh hair appointment. Because that's when I have to come in here because your girl goes to the gym and she's gonna wreck the silk press 30 minutes after the work, So I try, us girls, what we do. We try to work our events around our hair appointments. All right? And that's what I was trying to do. So I was like, ooh, this is even better. Right after I get out the chair, I'm gonna get into this chair and I'm gonna film this podcast. And that did not happen. I ended up going to spend the night at somebody's house because why not, bro? I ain't got nothing else to do. I got to do this. I was like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to go to this mall anyway and buy some clothes. And then I went to the mall the next day. I bought some clothes, realized I've gained a lot of weight. I didn't cry, but I wanted to. I really wanted to as I was sitting in that mirror, in that dressing room, like, girl, you got to get it together. These thighs are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous and a whole lot of other things. Mostly the bottom half. The top half is fine. Bottom half needs some work. Needs some TLC, some tender loving care. So I was like, all right. Today's not the day. We're not in the headspace. So we're going to do it. And then my nail fell off. For anybody's watching the YouTube video, my nail fell off. So I got a Band-Aid. If you see it, you're not crazy. Your girl's nail fell off. Thankfully, it didn't hurt, but it fell off because I thought I was Wolverine and I thought I was Sabretooth actually, and thought I could open a pill bottle with my nails, and I found out the hard way that I can't, so they popped off. And these are actually my nails. These are not acrylics. These are my nails with what is it, gel? Dipped in gel? Still weak. Weaker than water. Well, actual water's pretty strong if you have a massive amounts of it, but still. Yeah. Popped off my nail. So that was a thing too. So I was like, all right, I'll come in here on Sunday. And, I had to take my family to the airport. And I got some grandparents that they believe that they need to be at the airport 6 hours before their flight. I guess to make sure that the gate is there when they get there so that they can walk only probably a foot away to make sure the gate is still there. It's not going anywhere until it's time for them to depart. So I was running off of 3 hours of sleep, absolute fumes, didn't have my keys to get in the studio. So I was like, all right, maybe we'll do it tomorrow, maybe we won't. And tomorrow is today, and we're actually here. We made it happen. we made it happen. Funny thing is, I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh, I remember. I remember where I was going with that. I said all that to say that's why I went solo. Because as you can see, every day was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I got something else I want to do. I want to take a nap. And also, I've been sick for like a week and a half. It was terrible. It was absolutely the worst. I promise you, everything since 2020, any virus that you get is like death, and it's crazy. It's the wildest thing. You're always ready to go. You're always ready to control alt delete, and it's terrible. I'm not. I'm just saying. It's just makes you feel so bad, and I'm just like, am I old or my immune system suck that bad, or like this virus has just got a vendetta against us now. I can't take you out, but I'm gonna make you feel like you want to be out of here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, last but not least, go solo. But if you can, if you got the money and you got the mental bandwidth, use Adobe Premiere. Use Adobe Premiere. And I say if you got the mental bandwidth because I did not use Adobe Premiere in the beginning. I actually did it one time and it just blew my mind so much that I was like, never again. And I used Final Cut Pro 10, and it was nice because Final Cut Pro 10, you pay for it once, and you got it forever, and, once you get a new computer, you just download it onto your new computer. It's a thing. It's a vibe. I love it. And Adobe Premiere, you got to pay for it monthly, and usually you got to combine it with, like, 15 other softwares, so you pay, like, $49.95 a month. That's how much I pay for my suite of softwares with Adobe, but I'm just going to say it is so using Adobe Premiere to make these little 60-second cuts for my podcast. Let me go through it because I had to write it down because there's no way. Y'all, I'm still practicing trying to actually explain this stuff quickly, concisely, and in a form that doesn't sound like I have ADHD, because I do. As I keep having to pull back so I don't just blow in the mic that hard. We're working on it. We're gonna get better with every upload, as the famous YouTubers say. Okay, so whether you use Final Cut Pro or you use CapCut, Adobe Premiere makes it easy to go through your long form video, make cuts, and then take those cuts and create what is called a subsequence that you can auto reframe to 9:16, like these AI video editors do for you. Orientation. Of course, from there you can add B-roll, transition, and a call to action, which is my personal favorite, at the end of your videos. And the only thing you lack with Premiere is the flashy subtitles. Because, that was the bread and butter. That alone was worth $49.95, you know what I'm saying? So, but you can add closed captions to your videos as well as using, with Premiere without using a third-party app like Captions, unless, you want those flashy subtitles and little purple outlines around your words and things like that. So you can do that. But if not, that's what that's for. That's what Adobe Premiere is for. So here are my final thoughts, okay? AI video editing and repurposing tools are great for personal brands wanting a basic and simplistic repurpose clip from their long-form content. They want to upload the long-form content, have AI create 15 to 20 short-form clips with subtitles that highlights points of emphasis, and you call it a day. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, they exist they're in business for a reason, because there's a need for it and people are willing to pay for it. Now, if you're anything like me and you want your content to be intentional and engaging, probably even match your brand if you have like a brand style, a brand voice, and you don't talk like in buzzworthy or viral sound bites like a celebrity pastor. Save your money and learn how to edit these clips yourself, or outsource these types of edits to someone like me. Shameless plug. Alpha Media LLC. We create content that converts so you don't have to. And also definitely create content, not just on social media, but like everywhere. Just wanted to say that. I do more. We do more. We do more than just social media. But social media is definitely a big part of our business and how to grow our business. So that's the package as well. I told you, shameless plug. I thank you for listening to this episode of the Creators Initiative. If you found this episode helpful, please share with a friend, and don't forget to rate this podcast on whatever platform you use. Until the next episode, I hope you gain confidence and inspiration to show up your way and on your terms. Bye.